Hi, today we're going to learn about EBD, emotional behavior difficulties. When we are looking at this from a positive point of view, children are considered creative and carefree. They are big and bold. They're feeling with their feelings. They are passionate. The Board of Education, the Georgia Board of Education, defines emotional behavior difficulties as this: an emotional disability characterized by the following. 1, an inability to build or maintain satisfactory interpersonal relationships with peers and or teachers. If for preschool children, this would be their caregivers. 2, an inability to learn which cannot be adequately explained by intellectual, sensory, or health factors. 3, consistent or chronic inappropriate type of behavior or feelings under normal conditions. 4, displayed pervasive mood of unhappiness or depression. Or 5, displayed tendency to develop physical symptoms, pains, or unreasonable fears associated with personal and school problems. It's a very interesting definition. It really could encompass several different areas and different feelings for children. We're going to primarily talk today about what anxiety looks like. And for anxiety, there's 2 different types of anxiety. There is generalized anxiety and there is social anxiety. Generalized anxiety is like an obsession with worrying. Children that are always concerned, walking around wondering what's going to happen next, or what's a student going to do. Children with generalized anxiety are extremely concerned with pleasing other people, wanting to make sure that their friends are happy with them. And not just, I want to be friends with this person, but a consistent worrying about that. It also comes with self-doubt. They don't think that they can handle different situations. They tend to be insecure. These children need reassurance and that they are valuable and that they are capable. To keep encouraging them, going back to them frequently, catch them doing something well, catch them not being worried or over concerned, and encouraging them and just motivating the child. Generalized anxiety appears through physical ailments, like headaches. They will have frequent stomach aches when they are battling with generalized anxiety. Social anxiety makes children extremely afraid of strangers or being in big groups of people. They might walk around and pace when, for instance, if they're in the gym or in the lunchroom, if those spaces tend to make the child appear anxious, then we need to be careful with that. We need to be aware of that. We need to maybe bring them alongside us so that they can stay close or hold their hand, especially for the younger children, since I predominantly work with younger children, holding their hand or just giving them a rub on the back. And in the COVID-19, maybe just, asking them to stand close to you and just reassuring them that they are in a safe environment and that they can stay with you. They have the option to stay next to you or the safe adult that's in the room. Young children will cling to their parents when they're suffering from social anxiety. Another type is what we know as OCD, and we are in a time now where so many people just kind of fly that term around. I have OCD. I have OCD. But OCD is a response to get relief in using repetitive actions. For children, it could be lining up all their pencils over and over and over, or going to check their backpack to make sure their lunch is there. I had a student that was very concerned about snack time. They would ask over and over and over and over throughout, many, many times in the morning, what time is snack? What time is snack? What are we having for snack? What are we having for snack? They need to be reassured. That student, I was able to let them know when they walked in this is what we're having for snack, and this is what time we are having snack. So to help ease some of that OCD, obsessive compulsive anxiety within them. They will not want to go to parties. People with children with OCD, they don't want to be in areas where they feel like they're losing control. They may not be able to get past something that's gone wrong in the day. They're going to rehearse that over and over and over in their mind. And in some regards, that's a good thing. Like, we want children to, if they've had a situation where they've had an argument with a friend, okay, let's rehearse that. Let's go through that in our mind and talk about how did that start, and what could I do different? But children with OCD can't move past that, and they need assistance from the adults around them, from the teachers. We as administrators and teachers need to let them know this is okay. We've already dealt with this, or this is fine. Why don't you go check your backpack? You can check your backpack 3 times and maybe give them time frames to check their backpack, or whatever it may be, to help give them some control, but help guide them to where it won't take control of them. Another one type is panic. Separation anxiety may come when the children feel like they will be alone, like they'll be forgotten or left or not returned. Like, oh, who's going to pick me up? How am I going to get home? Those kinds of things. And this is common in nearly all children, all young children, but some just don't grow out of it. So you could see something like this in your upper elementary or middle school or high school even, a panic of being left alone, especially you would see this in children maybe with divorced parents or children in our foster care system. They don't have control over what's happening with who's going to pick them up or when. And so for the teachers in their lives and the administrators to be able to remind them, this is what we're expecting today. If something changes, somebody will let you know. But right now you can plan on so-and-so picking you up, or the bus is going to pick you up and your bus driver's name is so-and-so, those kinds of things to help calm some of that anxiety that is inside our young children. Another one is PTSD. Post-traumatic stress is an anxiety and fearful response to something that remains in them. And, we think of PTSD with our veterans, our military people, but a car accident for a young child, or maybe a really bad argument. I don't know all the things that could cause a PTSD type of anxiety, but that's very real, and it is real inside of our children. I think giving and providing ways for children to talk about that, and maybe it's not through their words, maybe it's through drawing a picture, maybe it's through reading, maybe it's through music, giving them that relief. But that, again, I think with all anxiety and EBD, that us as teachers to be present, to show them that we are there with them. They are not alone. These children are not alone. In the classroom, I'm going to say this over and over and over, because the time that it takes, it's time and attention, time and attention, time and attention. Children in our classrooms, all children need our time. They all need our attention. Children with EBD need extra from us. They need us to take a minute or a second and just, it's going to be okay. We're going to have snack at 10:30. Remember, at 10:30 we're going to have snack, but right now it's only 9:15. Or this is, look on the clock, taking time to show on the clock when they're going to have it, or when they're going to go home, or when we're going to be in PE. It takes extra time for us as teachers to make sure we're standing next to that one child. And it could be more than one. I'm just specifically talking about one child that could, when they're going to lunch, maybe they need to be standing next to you and you need to be with them going through the lunch line. That's a big, scary place for some students. And our time is important to them, to helping them feel safer. In the classroom, a way that I have in the past, and it worked very well for the couple of students that I've done this with, is allowing the student that has documented anxiety or EBD, call the parent. Invite the parent and the child to come in at a time before school starts, if at all possible. The best thing is before school even begins, invite them in, talk to the child, talk to the parent, find out what areas are difficult and what helps them at home. Maybe even giving an idea would be letting the student pick where they sit, and then letting them know you can sit here as long as, with the requirements that, that this is a good space for you, and that, you are treating people kindly, but you'll be very close to me. Sometimes they want to be close. Sometimes the one child wanted to be back in the corner. They really needed to be back in the corner. So that has been very helpful in the classroom. Also, let them find a safe place. Actually, one of my own personal children struggled with some anger when he was younger, and I was able to go in with the teacher. His teacher was fantastic, and through his counseling, I knew that he needed to have a safe place that he could go to without asking. And is that something that the child in your classroom would need? Set up that safe place. Set it up, okay, and have an agreement between you and the child, and depending how old they are, maybe that's a written agreement, that when you are starting to get upset, you may walk to this spot only in the classroom without asking, and I will know that you just need some time, and then I will come to help you or talk with you as soon as I can. Letting the child know this is your safe place, and if they, have crayons or paper, maybe a whiteboard, maybe some of the sensory bottles where they can just kind of calm themselves down, maybe headphones. Depending on the class and what subject you're teaching, that may or may not be a good idea, because then they also cannot hear you, what you're instructing. One of the things about letting them have a place is that they can still hear and be involved in the instruction that is going on in the classroom, if at all possible. Sometimes that's not possible, but you want to try that. And talk to them. Prepare that space with that child. And then again, following through. If you start to see that child, or when I start to see that child get anxious or upset, or you're starting to see the emotions escalate, maybe just go and tap them. Would you like to go to your safe place? It doesn't need to be a big production in front of the whole class. This is between you and the student, or me and the student, and asking them if they need to go. Develop maybe even a safe sign. Yes. Maybe it could be just that they put one finger up, if they put one finger up, or if they do this, or, come up with a sign. Some students, especially the older ones, that way it is not, attention is not drawn to them by the entire class. We want to make sure that we are not making a spectacle of the child that is having a challenge. We want to make this a safe environment for them, and that takes time, takes so much time, but it is so worth it. And I saw my own child just do amazing with a teacher that spent time with them, and I've taken that into my own classroom at different times. Also, depending on the type of anxiety or the what type of EBD the child is struggling with, prepare short lessons. Maybe let them know a day or two. Give them the whole week's worth of lessons and prior to at the beginning of the week. That is also very helpful. Something that was in the Armstrong book on page 121, I want to read directly to you, and it says, single most important ingredient in positive niche construction for students with behavioral and emotional disorders is the provision of a nurturing network of supportive human beings who can champion and promote their students' emotional well-being. Enjoy teaching.